Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Matt, the DIY prepper, and today I thought I'd go over my favorite axe. It's the best axe $30 can buy. I'll be sure and post a link below on where you can get this from Amazon. You know what? Click the order button. It's $30 to $40. Click it and don't look back. You'll be happy with it even if you don't necessarily think you need one. That is my council tool, boy's axe. When I started shopping around for an axe, there was a few things I was looking at. First and foremost, I'm not like a lot of people. I live in the Texas Panhandle. We don't have an abundance of trees. They're along the creeks, they're around the lakes, and around properties. But other than that, most of the trees here are here because somebody planted them here. It's just a flat area. And I'll be honest, there's not really a big need for an axe. But what I wanted it for was pretty much a camp axe, something I could take camping. And aside from that, my family does have some property that does have quite a bit of trees on it. It's got a pond stocked with fish. There's a lot of trees around that. And we had a really bad drought of trees. So there's a lot of them that are falling down and a lot of maintenance that needs to be done. The third thing I do with it is, well, it's a toy. I like to play with it. I posted a video the other day of making a few wedges to split wood. I didn't really need those. Those are inexpensive, and I could have just bought them, but it gave me a chance to get out and play with something. Is it useful in a bushcraft or survival situation? Of course. Why not? But anyway, that's the story behind this. We'll talk about the things I keep with it. This mask isn't Kydex. All this is one of the 5-gallon water bottles that you see on a water cooler. Somebody was throwing one away. I grabbed it up. I cut out the flat pieces of it, heated it up, and shaped it to make an axe sheath. It works just fine. I've been using it for months. I don't have any problems with it. Had some green spray paint sitting around. Thought I'd paint it. It looks cool. I think I'll keep it. The belt sheath, or the holster that I use, is just a Yaki slide holster, like what you use for your pistol. If you're like me, you've got a whole boxes and drawers full of just holsters that you've tried out and you didn't quite like them, or maybe you don't carry that gun anymore. And that's what this was. It was just in a box of holsters that I had. Picked it up, slid it on there. It fit fine. It's amazingly comfortable. You would think that was made just for carrying an axe. So there are a few things that make this different than an axe, like when your premium axes, like a Gransfors Brooks or ones of that sort. As you can see, the finish isn't perfect on it. It's got machine marks in it, but it's $30, and the machine marks don't affect the function. An aluminum, at least I'm assuming that's an aluminum wedge. I prefer a wooden wedge with step wedges in it. But for this price point, I'm not going to complain about it. It still works just fine. The profile actually works pretty well. It's better than what I was expecting. It didn't take a whole lot to do with the sharpening. Up in here, I did have to thin this down a little bit just to make it more comfortable for my hand. But to have an axe that comes as comfortable as this one is, with a nice oval round handle, it actually has a butt swell in it. Normally these are just cut straight from a plank because it saves money. But this one actually is, I like the handle. This is pretty close to the way that I would do it if I was making one myself. The bit is straight for the most part, and the grain orientation is perfectly acceptable also. All I do with this thing is every now and then, just whenever I happen to think about it, I'll get some boiled linseed oil and give the handle a good wipe down. I've used it enough now that it's worn to be really smooth and really comfortable. Up here, I'm not the greatest with an axe. I'm not an axe guy. So it gets dinged up a little bit, but I'm not worried about it. It's not something I care about. Am I ever going to keep this in the truck? No, probably not. It's like I said, it's more of a purpose tool that I use. It does chop okay for what it is, and by that I mean it would probably chop better if it were a full size heavier axe. But this is a 2¼ pound boy's axe, and I wanted the boy's axe because it may not be the best at what I want it to do, but it's light enough, it's small enough that I'll carry it with me. It'll actually come along for the ride rather than getting left at home or left in the four-wheeler or left in the truck. Aside from that, splitting. It splits what I need it to. Most woods, it'll fly right through. Most woods, they split pretty easy until you get into something like elm, which is unfortunate because we do have a lot of elm here. And I don't know if you've split much elm, but it's a bear to split. The grain interlocks, and it's just a pain to split. Try to split some, and you'll see what I'm talking about. The sheath, easy. Yeah, they don't come with one from the factory. This is easy to make. And for all my other axes, this is what I'm going to do. I do have a few others. I've got a cold steel tomahawk. I've got a couple axes that belong to family members of mine that are no longer with us, and I treasure those. But my user axe is this one. And I don't know. I mean, I think I would almost rather have something like this for what I use it for than I would, one of your expensive Grantsford Brooks or one of the custom axes, just because I don't always use it right. I tend to abuse them. The bit has a few nicks in it, but luckily it's not some crazy hard steel, and the nicks come out pretty easy. It does hold an edge pretty well though. I can use it to chop. I don't know. In the past, it'd probably do better, but as far as what I've observed, I can chop through a dozen or so 3 to 4 inch logs. Nothing huge, and it'll still shave hair afterward. So for me, that holds an edge just fine. We don't have the softwoods like the pines and the things like that around here. And it is small enough that I can use it for, the fine detail work and crafting type things. And I like to play around with bushcrafty stuff, so I will do that. I'll post a link below to buy this thing on Amazon. Like I said, if you're looking for an axe under $50, that I see myself passing this on to my grandkids. I know it's not some crazy custom axe, but it works, and I intend on keeping it. And if somebody comes and asks me, Matt, what axe do I buy? This is what I'm going to send them toward. If you buy one or already have one, let me know about it. Let me know what you think. Maybe you've got some more experience with an axe than I do. Like I said, I'm a little inexperienced with them, so I can't speak with much authority. But anyway, be sure and drop a like on this video, hit subscribe, and until next time, be safe.